Jesse Allen here, and catching up today with our May Progressive Agriculture Foundation safety message. We have Bernard Jeschke with us from the Progressive Agriculture Foundation. Bernard, great to have you back on. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Jesse, and we appreciate you and Market Talk for having us on here for the monthly safety message. Means a lot to our foundation.
Definitely. Well, you guys have a lot of great information to share. This month, we are in Mental Health Awareness Month here for May, and I think it's very important we talk about this. It's always important for us to focus on self care and our mental health awareness, isn't it, Bernard?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty essential that we take care of ourselves and our family members and that type of thing. And there's a lot of ways that we can reduce stress. And I think that's kind of the big thing we'll talk about today is how different people will utilize different things to handle their stress or maybe to help control their stress. But the thing I tell people is do something you enjoy. Do something you enjoy doing. Maybe it's listening to a podcast or listening to some music, reading a book, maybe watching a movie. Um, some people even like assembling puzzles. Putting puzzles together that helps eliminate some of their stress and all of that strengthens your mental well-being.
Well, and that's very important that we strengthen our mental well-being, and of course, just have that self-care, because it's very, very important. And I know this month, the Progressive Agriculture Foundation, you guys have given some tips, 10 of them to be exact, on self-care. But you want to just break this down and maybe talk about a few of these tips, Bernard?
Sure, we touch on those real quickly. First one I want to touch on is adopting or developing maybe some better sleep habits. The thing that we have found out through a lot of research that's done by other people than us, we just utilize a lot of their information, is that people are guilty of staying onto their electronics right before bed, which keeps your brain stimulated at a high rate, and then it makes it hard to go to sleep. So maybe considering better sleep habits is turning off those electronics and stuff, maybe a little earlier and let your mind shut down a little bit before you're ready to go to sleep. Another thing is begin exercising. For some people, it's, if you work in an office building, for some people, it's as simple as taking the staircase rather than the elevator. For some people, it might be taking a walk or riding a bicycle. To me, my favorite thing is to take a walk. I really enjoy taking a walk around my neighborhood, but I'm guilty. I probably don't do it often enough. I need to get myself into more of a regular schedule. But that's one thing that I really enjoy is kind of going for a walk. Some people talk about developing a hobby, having a good hobby. I think my best hobby is working in my garden. That's my go-to place after work. Shut the computer off, get out of the chair, head for the garden. So, get you a hobby. And again, get a hobby that you enjoy, because then it's something that gives you a chance to have that social and mental break there. As far as taking that mental break away from that electronics, that's one of the tips right here. Maybe put down that tablet or smartphone for a little bit. Maybe step away from the computer a little bit here. Give your eyes and your mind a little bit of break, because a lot of us spend a lot of time looking at these monitors and stuff, quite a few hours of the day, and that also will help alleviate some of the stress from social media. And as far as managing your stress, some people do a good job. Maybe they'll do some yoga, maybe they'll meditate, maybe just some breathing exercises. But so there's a lot of different types of things you can do for your self care.
Well, and Bernard, I think about some of those that you mentioned, and for me, electronics is kind of a big one there, and social media. There's a lot of stressors with electronics and social media, whether you're on social media or you're just using electronics late. And so, I personally have tried to, implement some of those things and stay off my devices at times. Go to bed a little bit earlier and set that good sleep schedule. I would agree with those. I think it's very, very important to do things like that, or have an exercise regimen. There's just a lot of things there that I would agree with that I've done before that really helped me. So I would definitely echo a lot of those that you mentioned there, Bernard.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Couple more here that they have mentioned. One is getting organized. Sometimes we feel like we're running around in circles. So, setting some goals, or I'm not real good at writing goals, but I like to have a chore list. By the end of the day, I want to get this done and that done. And Jesse, you're on my chore list today,
Mhm.
to get this interview done. And to me, it feels good when you're able to check things off the list. There's another thing done on my chore list, and that type of thing. So getting organized helps a lot of people. Some people do a good job at journaling. A lot of people, if they have negative thoughts or negative concerns, they can put it down in their journal, maybe shut the book and put it away, type of thing. But volunteering is also good. And volunteering is what I like to talk about, because that's what Progressive Agriculture Safety Days, that's what we're built on. We're a staff of 7 people that run an international program, and we have thousands of volunteers across North America that help our Progressive Ag Safety Days. So, and for those volunteers, it's kind of neat to they get the opportunity to help out a friend, or maybe they're helping out their community, or maybe just catching up with old relationships. So that gives them a chance too to unwind and eliminate the stress a little bit. Is volunteering. It also helps them strengthen their communication skills. If they're in a leadership role or something like that, as they're volunteering, and reach out and touch some other people maybe they didn't know, or work with their kids, that type of thing. So that's pretty cool. So I think we just got to remember to treat ourself and others with respect. That I think is the bottom line there. We're all human. We all make mistakes, and just maintaining that positive outlook, I think, is really key.
Very, very true. All great tips there. And I think something we need to look at as well, Bernard, is self care and mental health awareness. It's important for adults and children alike, as they can both feel stresses on themselves. And I know that's one of the things that you guys at the Progressive Agriculture Foundation, with your Progressive Agriculture Safety Days, you work a lot with children and teaching them different things. And what are some of the ways that you help kids during a safety day when it comes to stress management and mental health awareness?
Well, the key thing is, I think for the children, because our safety days are pretty much youth based, is educating the kids that some stress is good and some stress may be overloading. Give you an example. Let's say you've got a test coming up in math. You might be stressed over that test. Well, maybe that stress is motivating you to study a little harder for that math test. So that's a kind of a stress that might be a good thing. But then all of a sudden you have the stress from school, the stress from maybe sports. Maybe there are stressors at home. Maybe there's problems going on, somewhere else. And now all of a sudden you have stress coming from multi directions. And some kids don't really realize when they're getting overstressed. And it usually comes out as anger. Kids get mad, they get angry. And that's usually one of the first signs you see when kids are getting overstressed. So at a Progressive Ag Safety Day, we try to help educate them on being able to know where that fine line is between that good stress and maybe too much stress. Give you an example. We've got one of the activities in our manual that we use for the kids is trying to juggle balloons, and the idea of, you get too many balloons in the air, you got to ask for help. So let's say they wrote stress on one balloon, and it's the stress from schoolwork. Okay, well, they got to keep that balloon up in the air. Okay, well that's pretty easy, keeping one balloon up in the air. And now they also had stress from sports. All right, now you give them a second balloon. All right, now they're keeping two balloons up in the air. Most kids can handle that. Okay, now let's say there's another stress from my friends. You know, my friend is having a hard time with something, and so then you add that third balloon, and all of a sudden now they have too many balloons in the air and the stress is too big. They can't keep the three balloons up in the air by themselves, and we got to ask for help and teach the kids it's okay to ask for help. So Jesse, if you and I were in the same room doing this activity, I would go, Jesse, could you help me keep my three balloons up in the air? And then you would step in, and between the two of us, we could keep those three balloons up very easily. And that's kind of what we teach the kids. It's okay to ask for help. You know, it's okay to talk to your teacher, to talk to your parents, to talk to somebody at church, you know, wherever you feel comfortable visiting with someone. So those are types of the things. And we have built a whole curriculum for our safety days, complements of Farm Credit and UNMC, the University of Nebraska Medical Center gave us a grant. University of Illinois gave us a grant. So it's kind of a North American project. And Jana Davidson has done an amazing job writing this chapter. And we've got 8 different activities now that our coordinators can pick from that can do hands-on activities with the kids. So that just gives you a little flavor of how we handle that at a Progressive Agriculture Safety Day.
Well, a lot of great stuff that you guys do with Progressive Agriculture Safety Days. And I know as the world is starting to open back up, we're talking about in-person safety days again. And I know folks can learn more about safety days, how to host, how to get their kids involved, and more on your guys' website, progressiveag.org, can't they?
Yes, sir. They sure can. Progressiveag.org. We also have a toll-free number, 888-257-3529. So just get a hold of us, and the thing is, we're always there to help. We're there to help in every level. Maybe somebody's just wanting to volunteer, like we were talking about earlier. Maybe somebody's wanting to host a safety day in their community. Maybe somebody's wanting to donate to help send some more kids to the safety day. All of that is available there on the website, progressiveag.org, and or calling us on that toll-free number, 888-257-3529.
A lot of ways to get in touch and learn more about what is going on with the Progressive Agriculture Foundation and the Progressive Agriculture Safety Days. Bernard, appreciate the time as always. Thank you for joining us for the main safety message. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. We appreciate you and Market Talk and getting this message out to rural America. Let's do it.
Definitely. Bernard Jeschke with the Progressive Agriculture Foundation joining us for our May safety update. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.